does.
He has an amazing mama. Look at her, what she's doing here.
Thank you.
Like, that's pretty fucking dope.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah.
And Molly, you can take it away whenever you are ready.
Right. Okay, great. So thanks for being here, guys. I'm Molly the Kush RN, and you have come to Conversations with Kush podcast tonight. So we have two beautiful women whom I love and adore, and who have really supported me through this journey of self-discovery. And I just really appreciate having you here. And so we have Jaime Croyle from the owner of House of Oil Worx. She's also done so many things, right? Like, you are a creator, and you have created your own products, mushroom products. You are an educator in the community. There's hosted many classes. I've been to your shop several times for your classes, and now you're connecting community. You've got wake and bake yoga in there on Sundays. I saw that was going to become a regular thing. So I'm really happy to see you and my girl, Diane, connect, because I think the world of her.
Oh, such amazing.
So, yeah. And then we have, getting back to what else you've done, and partially the reason why we're here, I hope to talk about, is MNWCC, which is the Minnesota Women's Cannabis Coalition, something that I was had the pleasure of participating in during the Legacy Cup, and was really honored to even be asked into such a beautiful circle of women. So
we love you, Molly.
Yeah, so I hope that we get to talk about that tonight.
We will.
And we have my beautiful friend Veronica. So really happy to see you. Veronica Alfaro is the owner of Misotaessence, and she is someone that is very near and dear to me, that I feel like we really kind of came up at the same time together when we got introduced into the community. So I'm really happy to have you here. So she is the owner and CEO of Misotaessence, which is a Latina family-based cannabis company. And so I love having you here to just kind of really represent and showcase that side of your beautiful culture, and how you merge cannabis and your culture together. Like, that always really came across as important to you, and I appreciated that about you. Yeah. So when did you start using cannabis, Jaime?
Oh my gosh. I started using cannabis probably when I was 16.
Okay.
Yeah. Pretty heavy user throughout high school, outside of high school, but probably my late 20s, I started getting a lot of anxiety, and it started creating anxiety for me.
Sure.
So I dropped it for quite some time. And then, fast forward probably 15 years. I don't know which one yet,
Yeah.
but, a good decade. And
depends on the day.
Right. Exactly. I never quit for years on end. I'd have that like annual high at the lake, right, or something. But but I really started becoming a user again probably around COVID.
Okay.
Yeah, pre-COVID.
Yeah, nice.
COVID gave me a way to explore and deepen my relationship without having to worry about going to a job and really, dealing with people. So that was kind of when my reconnection came, when I was able to be at home and reconnect with her.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Is that the same with you too? When did you?
So
Tell me your story.
I started, me and my husband were actually talking about this.
Okay.
I was honestly like 13 years old when I smoked the first time, but it wasn't habitual of me to smoke.
Yeah.
I was a teen mom, so I had to have my other priorities, and my kids were that number one priority. And my husband also got a felony
Okay.
for distributing. So
Oh.
that really changed when he was 17. So that like really changed my relationship with it too. Cause I had to fill shoes that I wasn't ready to fill all the way, and just kind of had to like lead my family in a different way.
Yeah.
And it changed how we moved because he was a felony. And when you can't really do much with that. Like you can't go to school. You can't do a lot of different things.
Yeah.
So, but after that, I did help like my grandma with it. My husband has always been like a lifetime user. So like it's always been around.
Yeah.
And my grandma, we used it for cancer. She had lung cancer, and we used it at the end of her life. But that was some shit because there's 10 siblings.
Yeah.
And having to like have that conversation with them, and like it had to be a talk between everyone and concise, like, yes, we were going to do this.
Oh, wow.
But it was amazing to see her have her specialty. And it was like a butter tea that we would make her with cinnamon, and it would help her eat. It would help her, like she would just become alive again.
Yeah.
And
Goosebumps.
Right?
It was beautiful. It was so beautiful. So knowing that, like, I myself dealt with a lot of pain, and I didn't give in to it because I was on this Western medicine where it's, you go to the doctor, they prescribe you pills, they do everything. But none of that was working for me. And so my husband, like I said, has been a lifetime user, and he's like, why don't you just try cannabis?
Sure.
And I did. And that was around COVID. And I had the time to explore.
Yeah.
I had stopped working. And because I was just trying to get my life under control, like it was just chaos around me. And I needed to just calm down. And then COVID happened.
Yeah.
And that's kind of when I started transitioning into cannabis and left drinking and kind of like Western medicine behind. And went to cannabis. And ever since then, it's been my lifestyle.
Yeah, nice. I love that. I feel like that was a really pivotal time for a lot of people, I think a lot of people came to cannabis at that time. I think I kind of reconnected with it too. So I tried it maybe when I was like 12 or 13, one time. And then I used it occasionally like throughout my life. But like I was a nurse, like my husband was a daily user too. So like I was like, well, one of us has to be sober. What if the kid has to go to like the emergency department or something, right? And I was, I had to be responsible, but I would smoke and shit like on like Mother's Day, like fuck it, I can have that, but then when COVID hit, this person that I knew, they were like, well, have you ever thought about making your own edibles? And I was like, no, I haven't really. So he was like, yeah, there's this machine where you can like infuse your own butter, you can make all kinds of stuff. And so I started to make edibles a little bit for my friends that were at home and like coming back to cannabis too, right? And then that's how I kind of got started. And so
It's beautiful.
yeah, it is. It can be so life changing, right? Because it just like brings the curtain down. It just like allows you to relax into like who you are, and
it like lets you think too outside of like what the society puts these chains on us, and it allows us to just kind of take that shit the fuck off.
For sure. Yeah.
And just be like, see.
Resonance. I heard my girl Mo talk about that the other day, and she said it was resonance, like how cannabis can just get you really there. So I love it too, man. That's what I love about it. So
I think a lot of people connected during COVID. I know from a retail standpoint, there was a huge shift in what consumers wanted coming out of COVID versus coming out of COVID is relative, but booting back up, the industry changed, and
you know, out there advocating and stuff like way before I came into it. So, you know, I want to take recognition of that. Like, I'm pretty new to this here. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a big shot or anything. And I'm really discovering cannabis in so many different ways, you know, just really down to like a molecular level, trying to understand it. So, yeah, I'm here to learn too, and I hope that the audience can learn from some of the things that I try to have on the show. Like in between episodes, what I want to do is like have a cannabis nurse on that I'm doing like a Zoom call with in like Seattle or California or something, and just like have them really talk about a specific topic in cannabis, because nobody wants to hear me drone on about stuff. Like, there's other brilliant people they could learn from. So
yeah, I love that.
And the more
That
I can
sounds
feature
dope as hell.
women and, you know, like,
Yes.
you know, BIPOC people too. Like, everyone needs that chance. In fact, I told Angie, and I want to tell you now too, make sure Kayleen reaches out to me because I want to get her involved.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that. I will.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. Do that. So how do you like to consume?
You know, I think anymore, I like to consume just various ways. I think it's kind of shifted and morphed throughout my lifetime. I started smoking because I'm a former cigarette smoker. So smoking cigarettes, smoking cannabis, that was kind of the early days back in those days. Edibles weren't a big thing, you know, it was just smoking anyway. And probably when I came back to it, you know, we were in Boulder, and, you know, you're in your 40s and you go to Boulder. I mean, what do you do? What do you do? Doesn't matter who you are. You go to the dispensary.
Or you hike.
Or you go to the dispensary.
And you hike.
I would find water. A spring somewhere. And I bought some gummies, and, you know, I took a 10 milligram, and woo, it was anxiety ridden.
Yeah.
But it was my first, you know, kind of contact back with cannabis, even pre-COVID. And, you know, now I think just being in this space that we're in, I really, really bucked the drinks. I'm a hard sell on drinks, but I'm a boring water drinker. I mean, that's my drink of choice.
Yeah.
So that's something that I'm really connecting with. I'm embracing that and finding almost every day something else that has some flavor to it, that resonates with me. So I like to drink and smoke.
Okay.
Yeah.
The drinks are nice because I feel like they hit you kind of quick, right?
Yeah. And that's part of that stacking that, you know, allows us.
I like to drink in socially, especially like I love that we can consume in restaurants, which is so different than any other state, in the country. It is crazy that we can do that.
Yeah.
And so knowing that, it's really, for me socially, I like to, you know, I'm a smoker. It's all about layers though.
Yeah, I agree.
Like layers. And especially because I'm attacking pain. So like I have cervical spinal stenosis in my neck and back. And so like I love topicals.
Yeah, nice.
Topicals is probably one of my favorite ways of consuming that is underrated. No one talks about them.
Yeah.
It really helps just with the inflammation that your body holds.
Yeah.
And it helps just move easier.
Yeah.
But I also love to smoke. Like smoking it's quick, fast, gets to where I need to, and then I can do what I need to do, and it's not forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm a mom of 3 kids.
Yeah.
So like I'm always on the go, and I have activities after school.
Well,
you know?
And I think I always see you featuring yourself like waking up and smoking and like going on your walk. You know, I know you walk with a regular group. I need to get into that walk group, man. I'm not even that far away.
Come. It's the Queen Sessions.
I want to.
Yeah,
okay. That's what it's called.
The Queen High Hikes.
Bet. I love that shit. Yeah, I need to come. So, So I saw that you mentioned that, that you do that before. And I like that you said topicals because it's something I never think of. But I'm like, as I'm sitting here, I'm like, man, I could really use one of those topicals.
Yeah. I don't leave home without it.
What?
I don't know if my mic's on.
Yeah. I do love to stack, and my favorite medicine is Molly's medicine. Like, it's
Just had some Molly medicine today.
man, shit just like gets me there. Like, I just love it. And then, like, if I'm partying, I like to smoke, and but when and I certainly can't consume before I go to work and stuff like that. But
that's where I'm really embracing CBD again.
Okay, tell me more about that.
Well, I just find that it's easy for me to overconsume. And overconsumption creates anxiety for me. So knowing, and I mean, I overconsume a lot of the time, but if I wake up and I'm just kind of anxiety ridden, maybe I need some CBD for the day. To really just, chill out. Go back to basics, right?
Sure.
A little bit. So I've really been reconnecting with taking some CBD during the day as well.
Okay. And you're taking like a full spectrum CBD?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think that really makes a difference too.
Yeah, I do too.
Yes. I mean, it has to be full spectrum, but really just bringing it back to, I don't need to feel it necessarily.
No, of course. Yeah. I love CBD too.
Yeah.
It helps with like my nervous system and like my pain.
Yeah.
Like same with all the minor cannabinoids too.
Yeah.
Like,
well, that's what I love about Molly's medicine, because it's a ratio.
Yeah.
So it's a mix.
Yeah. I love Molly.
Yeah.
She is her energy. She's just,
man.
When you talk about mind, body, and soul and cannabis too, and like just she's
that is medicine
for sure. I mean,
Molly's medicine.
So guys, for the audience who doesn't know, who's this person you're saying? Who's stuff?
Molly Cronk from MJ Haberdashery. She has a little farm in Oakdale. So she's a regenerative grower, and
it's a pretty it's pretty dope.
It is
farm.
a pretty dope farm.
Honey, horses, and hemp.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, literally.
I brought my mom there too.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did she love it?
She loved it. She came to the terpene tasting.
That
we did there. Yeah. That was.
I don't remember much about that day.
Oh my God, that was actually probably the coolest thing, because it was my mom never. This is all new to our family. It's really different, right? I had to get a lot of people on board, and my mom was one of the first on board, right? She's very open-minded, and to have her a part of that was really cool. Like really cool to experience, and then to have that relationship with like how we broke up the weed, or like just smelling it and like figuring out what was that there's more to it than just like how you smoke it and how like to consuming it. It's a plant.
Yeah.
We're
and
learning from it.
And it's a real ritual, I think, when people like break down their weed and roll it up and stuff, like some people are really into that. And it can be a real ritualistic type of experience.
Yeah.
I actually prefer to break mine up by hand versus grinder.
Okay. Nice. Yeah.
That's just how I grew up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm all about time.
Well,
I mean, there are times.
Well, I remember, V, you said it was your brother's like 40th birthday party, and like they wanted to have no alcohol and all THC. And
So we had all THC there. It was pretty freaking amazing to see that. He couldn't consume, but he's that. Yeah.
Did everyone go home earlier?
No.
Okay.
People stayed a lot long, or like pretty long.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is really awesome to go into a restaurant and just say, I need a drink.
Yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily mean that you need an alcoholic drink.
No, especially for people who don't drink, because there's never been a space for that. I mean, now it's starting to grow with the NA space, but that's just there's still not a big space for it, right? Yeah. And to be able to have THC drinks is pretty amazing.
They had some nice drinks. I went to Pot Shots. I went to Jokes and Joints. Yeah.
I've been wanting to
They
go.
had some fire ass drinks. They were very good. And that was a nice experience. So shout out to Michael Ford. That was a fun little set, and it was packed in there. I was impressed. So,
I'm gonna have to
make it down there.
Yeah.
It was
there.
The band was really good, and they had a couple of comedians. But yeah,
So were the drinks just like from the cans, or did they make drinks?
they made them. They
That's what
made
I
them.
want,
Yeah,
yeah.
with like some juice, and they put.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
It was
I do
nice,
at
yeah.
home. I
Yeah.
love to make my drinks an experience. Thank
Yeah,
you.
so-
Thank you.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
all about experiences.
Yes.
Yeah, talk about your drinks then. Talk about your
Yeah.
products. I want to hear about
So, with Misotaessence, we are a Latina cannabis company,
Yeah.
and we focus on, putting out Latino-inspired products and kind of creating space for that.
okay.
And with that, we really wanted to create experiences into people's homes, and so that were immersive. So we have our polvorones, which is a traditional Mexican cinnamon sugar cookie, which is like an amazing cinnamon. I've been told it's like a cinnamon crunch toast.
Okay.
And then we also have the Tropical Haze. And the Tropical Haze is our beverage.
Okay.
And that also comes with the chamoy and tajin that you get to rim up. So it's kind of like a michelada,
Mm,
but instead of alcohol, it's THC,
yum.
right?
Yeah.
And this is something in my culture that we grew up with. And the chamoy is like a chili but sweet. Kind of, it's not spicy. A lot of people think it's going to be spicy. It's really not.
Yeah.
Would you say it's spicy?
No.
Well,
But
it has
you're
the
asking the
tahini
wrong
on it
person
though.
for that.
It has the tahini. So
It does have the tahini, but
Yeah.
that has a little kick. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it's pretty cool. It's also nitro dose, so it's non-carbonated.
Okay. Nice. So, what are the milligrams?
It's 5 milligrams.
Okay. Nice.
So we've thought about upping the milligrams to 10, but the more I go out to consume in bars or like out and about,
Mm.
I realize that you want a lower milligram because you want to be able to have it socially, right?
Yeah, and you want to
Yes.
space it out. Like
Yeah.
you got to think about it like there's 4 drinks, so that's 20, over a couple hours times when you're out and socializing.
Girl, I will only have like 1 or 2 of
Yeah.
these.
Yeah.
Like I cannot, like I'm a smoker. But this like I won't be able to drive home,
Yeah,
right? If I had more than, but that's me. That's my tolerance,
sure,
right?
sure.
Which tolerance is a whole different ballgame.
Well, and I
Yeah.
think
and it's
just
different.
the
for
way you
everyone.
consume hits different receptors in different ways.
Yeah.
So, because you're a smoker, you're way more accustomed to how those receptors are stimulated
Yeah.
versus, drinking.
Yeah, I'm not used to.
Yeah.
And when I do, like, because I will do a can of butter at home, like a 1-to-1 can of butter,
Yeah,
for pain, but it's like literally like 1 or 2 milligrams that I put in like my food.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
very small
Yeah.
amounts.
Microdosing.
Yeah.
nice.
So I'm all about microdosing
Yeah,
when it comes to edibles. So which is like, I guess, a different way of consuming.
yeah, it is for sure.
Like it's
I always recommend to people like you need to start with a small dose.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. You
need to
especially
feel
if you're
it.
gonna especially if you're gonna layer it.
yeah.
I mean, that's when you can really get crafty, right? Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, people need to start with a small dose. Like, you don't need a lot of cannabis to like feel good and like have that curtain come down and really connect with your body and your mind and your soul. Like, just a small amount, and then you can like titrate up.
Yeah.
And for me, like smoking is just like it hits you so immediate. Like I like for my high to like just like kind of come on gradual
Yeah.
and last a while and like feel comfortable, So I don't know.
I think it's all just dependent on our set and setting too.
Mhm. True, true.
Yeah.
If I'm going to a movie, I'm probably going to smoke before the movie and then take a gummy, because then an hour through,
Mhm.
one's
Yeah.
going down, one's coming up. So, but I do like, back to the drinks, I like the 5 milligrams better.
Mhm.
But we sell more 10 milligrams.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But I wonder, are they going to consume it for home for like
Yes.
1 sessions? So
Yeah.
it's like how they're trying to consume it, right?
Sure.
Well, if I'm
True.
at
It's
home,
It's like a double up, like
Yeah.
a double.
if I'm at home, a 10 milligram might hit, it might hit a little differently than
Yeah.
being out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
true.
Yeah.
True.
And you want to kind of get to that sweet spot quickly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Set and setting all on how it's stacked, layered, and taken.
Yes. It all matters. Mindset matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I mean, a whole body wellness too. Like if
Yeah.
you're taking good care of your body, you feel good about yourself, like it's all going to touch you that much deeper. And, you know,
Yes.
like, yeah.
And it allows you to even like go there.
Mm-hmm.
It helps you let that shit go. Yeah. So it helps you get there quicker too. Like, I mean, I know for myself too, I always set an intention every morning when I'm smoking. I'm setting my intention for my day and how I want it to go. And then I use it to also like help my body relax and be able to just kind of focus on relaxing the muscles that are already tense, and I move with it.
Yeah.
And it really helps be able to move.
I'm telling you, I'm hearing that, and I feel like I'm really going to give that some more consideration. But and not just the intentionality with cannabis, but just like on a daily basis too. Like that's pretty important.
Yeah.
Just on a baseline level. But I'm really hearing that, and I will be more intentional about using it in that way because I feel like I really could benefit from that. So yeah,
it can do so. It can really like open things up for you in a different way too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your whole perspective and everything on things. So
I enjoy yoga now.
Me too.
I mean, like yoga's not something that I was ever really into, and just whether it is taking a gummy or smoking right beforehand.
You guys, Angie can do a fucking back bend.
Nice.
What, girl? Yes. Okay.
I can't do a back bend, but just breathing through yoga and flowing and just getting into that, it's one of my favorite things now.
I really like when she did the meditation part too. I'm speaking about Diane at her class. I love when she does that sound bath in the meditation too, when you like really get into that and like you can feel like if you're in the zone, man, you can feel like your whole body just be like man, you vibrate so high like an alien, man.
Oh wow. I need to go.
I mean, I don't know.
Okay, like that's what cannabis can do for you folks.
Yes.
Yeah, that wake and bake class is pretty wavy. I like it.
Gosh, I could take it every Sunday.
Yeah, nice. So that's a form of consumption too. Like, just having different intentionalities. You're right. I love that. Would you say form and setting? No, setting and tone.
Set and setting.
Set and setting. Yeah. I love that.
I mean, it's a good term in the psychedelic space too. I mean, set and setting, right?
Oh.
And so it's going to go with any kind of holistic ritual, medicinal intentionality, right?
Yeah.
Set and setting.
Okay, cool.
I mean, you're not trying to smoke with an intention at the club, like, you know?
It looks like some people are sometimes, so I don't know.
My husband, I feel like sometimes
he gets into the music.
But he's at home. He's not at the club.
It's still, he's creating the club at the house.
Turn up.
But the intention's going to be different in that setting, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, man. What else should we talk about, y'all? I feel like I'm kind of... Okay, go ahead.
I would say, me and my husband, we use it for, like, our arguments, even.
Okay. How so?
Like, it just helps us be able to communicate and get what we want to say without, dropping our ego.
Yeah.
Okay.
It allows us to drop the ego. And we're able to, like, communicate on a different level. So, like, we will smoke to have to talk about things. It's not really an argument, right? It's to talk through things that we're kind of like, okay, we need to really sit down.
Those uncomfortable conversations.
Yeah.
Damn, shit. I never really considered that. That's cool. So do you feel like you and Jude do that too?
Yeah.
You do?
I think that, I mean, every relationship has, its trials. And I think that since we've both become, steady users of it, we're even keeled most of the time. Like I can have kind of a rough day and go home and just sit down and smoke.
Yeah.
And it's like, and so just being in that frame of mind. Yeah. I mean, we talk about it. We don't yell at each other.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, we talk to each other.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Just opens that up too then.
Nice.
Yeah. That's cool. Okay, well, let's talk about our community here, right? What do you think it needs more of? Well, we got so much to talk about, though. We
I was going to ask about the women's collective.
yeah,
too.
I'm sorry.
say,
Yeah, let's.
Well,
let's
that's the
move into
community.
that.
Yeah. That's what the community.
For sure. So anyway, take it away, and one of you guys tell us about the Minnesota Women's Cannabis Coalition, please. Collective.
No.
Sure. I think that I'll just start.
Yeah.
It all kind of came it all started August 1st.
Right.
It really did, right?
Yeah.
I just, the Legacy Cup came up and really it did. August 1st came and everyone was scrambling to be part of this, big collective shift happening. And, it was a crazy, insane night, right? August 1st was great.
It was.
Down at First Ave. And just experiencing that and knowing that, and then Legacy Cup coming up, just shortly thereafter, seeing a price increase of these events that we're going to have to go to, really.
I shared a tent at the
At the August 1st.
Yeah, August 1st.
Yep. You and Cake and Baked.
Yep. Me and Cake and Baked shared a tent.
Yep. And then because it was not cheap to go to this event.
But we wanted to show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And be there for our community.
Yeah.
And I'd never change that. I would change that. I was there by myself, but then the Legacy came up and I'm like, oh, Veronica was sharing a tent. Like, not really safety in numbers, but if we band together, we can do this.
Yeah.
And I couldn't afford to sponsor the Legacy Cup, but I've sponsored the Legacy Cup since its inception. So it was really just creating a space and finding a way for women to show up, for, to still sponsor it. It's a great cause. And all of us women are really education centric. So I think that's kind of where it came from.
Yeah. Well, and I came from a background where I was with Primitiva. Yeah. And so that was a collective of 35 women entrepreneurs that we came together in a space to support each other and provide our products, right?
Yeah.
We had a little boutique in Uptown, and it was great. It was a great support system. And then we would do events together, and our events, we'd be able to share a tent and share ways of showing up still in the space, but getting help with it and having that support. And then you had different people at different avenues. So you were able to create that community to be like, okay, what did you do? That mentorship and know that we are natural as women leaders.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are.
Yeah.
Right?
And guys, we're showing some of the people who are associated with you on screen too. So if there's anything you want to mention.
Thank
Love
you.
it.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
That's perfect.
Gosh, we had 20
Yeah, 22.
22 brands.
Yeah.
22 brands under a little 10 by 10 at the Legacy Cup. It was crazy.
But we sponsored the education time.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
We did some amazing shit.
Yeah.
We had some amazing people as yourself.
Yeah. That was pretty awesome. We assembled that display and people had all of their stuff out there. Yeah.
Yeah. It was beautiful. And so the feedback that we got from that was very positive. And kind of recognizing. Then Lucky Leaf came up, right? And it's like, well, that's really expensive.
Yeah.
So we just kind of...
We went for it.
Yeah.
Jaime and I sat on the phone, looked at it, and we're like, okay, should we just go for this platinum sponsorship?
Yes.
Let's do it. Let's show up big. Let's show up for the women. Let's take up space.
Right.
And it was so exhilarating and terrifying.
Yeah.
All at once.
Yeah. So talk more about Lucky Leaf. What's that going to be about?
Yeah, go ahead.
So Lucky Leaf is a expo that we're going to be doing. It's going to be April 26th
and 27th.
27th. It's a 2-day expo here in Minneapolis at the Minneapolis Convention Center. And we are going to be showing up there and having a tent, a 20 by 20 space with all the women, empowered women.
Okay.
And we have a lot of sponsors, local sponsors that are helping empower our women to show the fuck up and take up space in this community that unfortunately is just really run by men.
Yeah.
Right?
I do hope that I'm able to bring a lot of women on and people, BIPOC people, queer people, LGBT folks. And I just want people that really aren't necessarily getting a voice in the community to be able to talk about what they're doing and like how what they're doing intersects with cannabis and how it helps them to kind of break those barriers down and allow them to just really be free and open to talk about, you know, who they are and what works for them, especially their medicine.
Yes.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
How do you get tickets to the Lucky Leaf thing? Or like, you know, can you kind of describe a little more what it is for people who might not know?
So on our website, we will be putting up the events on there, and there'll be a link there to the Lucky Leaf, but you can just go to Lucky Leaf.
Yeah, it's just a cannabis convention. Yeah. So a lot of people in the industry know about like MJ BizCon. So if you have, you know, so for House of Oil Worx, my intentions of going there and utilizing the space is to make B2B connections, business to business connections. So there's going to be a lot of different people there. I think this is going to be Minnesota's first bigger cannabis convention.
Right.
I mean, and it's not a very big one either, but it's going to be Minnesota's biggest probably to date. And I do have a product. I have a couple of products, but I do have a THC product, and it's a lemon lavender chocolate bar.
Yeah, I love that shit. That shit is so good.
I know.
Audience,
It really
man.
is.
That's
It really
delish.
Yes, it's a white chocolate that has lemon in it and organic lavender. And what's really great about the lavender, I'm super picky about the lavender. It can't be sour.
Oh.
And it's not, right? So that's the biggest feedback that I come back with is that lavender can be really sour, really bitter or tart.
No.
It's just,
it's a smooth little bite. Yeah.
So,
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, like, I love my cannabis. I'll take a little polverone and, like, dip it in some coffee in the morning and then, you know, take my little chocolate at night.
You should try the chocolate and some tea.
Oh, shit. There you go. That's next level.
Yeah, it is. It really is. I'll actually break some up and keep it in a bag so it's in like little nibs.
Oh, I love that.
And put some in my tea.
She sprinkles it.
And then it's like micro dosing that way too.
Yes, it is.
Nice.
Right before bed.
Love it.
My nightly tea. But back to the Lucky Leaf,
please,
you know,
I'm
so I
sorry.
think what my intentions are is to really put this chocolate bar out there. I mean, it's making its debut now, but scaling to the point for my business, scaling to the point where I'm getting some wholesale orders, right? So my product is going out into those other dispensaries.
Right.
So while my retail establishment is really built for the community, I got my own thing too, right?
Yeah.
So that's really what I'm going to use it for. I think the women can use it for various things, whether, you know, it's ancillary or not. Podcasts.
Well, especially for like the MNWCC, we really want to be able to create a space for people to come together. So even though we will showcase what we have and like what everyone is, what they, especially product wise or different ancillaries, but we want to be able to create a space where conversations are being made and people are educating. Yes. So like within there, we're going to be doing mini series for people to like come and talk to each other. Okay. And like meet and greets or like, you know, come and learn like for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, depending on how the schedule looks, but within the space. Okay. To kind of just show what the women here are doing in Minnesota, because we are doing some amazing shit.
For sure,
well, and we're robust.
We are. Yeah,
it's a pretty big community.
It is.
Yeah, there was a lot of women at the Blunt Strategies event last week or so ago. Yeah.
I mean, even take us out of state. There's a gangle of us around somewhere. You know?
Yeah.
I mean,
It was pretty good.
I think there were 18 of us in Las Vegas.
Okay.
Like, you just don't see other groups of women that have that many people from one community in another state, typically.
Yeah. Well, they're legal there for a long time though, right? I mean, no, when did they become legal?
Nevada?
Yeah.
What year is it? 2024?
Yeah, that one.
I don't know. I'm like, I don't know.
Ants can look that up for us.
What year did Nevada legalize? But still, I mean, this is it's the largest cannabis convention in the United States, right? And so you have people not just from Nevada coming, but from other states.
Yeah, for sure.
And then everywhere you go, it's like, oh, the Minnesota crew's here, you know? But that's like...
We got to get the blunt brunch picture of all the women.
Yeah.
We had a big blunt brunch.
Where has that been? Did they send it out or what?
Oh, yeah, it's been around.
Oh, shit, I didn't see it.
Well, we'll have to just put it out there again.
We'll have to put it out there.
Resurrect it.
It was just cool to, like, that was a lot of women.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
So
Yeah, I made a couple really nice connections. I really want to talk to the broader Minnesota community too, and so I met two women that were affiliated with a bigger grow up in near Grand Rapids up there. So, and then we also have a young lady coming on. We've already kind of set it up. Her name is Tati. She runs a delivery service in greater Minnesota. And so her whole thing, or their whole thing, is like trying to provide a discreet thing for professionals that don't want to be seen going into a dispensary.
It's a real thing.
Yeah. So I thought that was kind of cool. So we're gonna have them on later coming up too.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
2017.
So right before COVID.
Right before COVID.
Okay, well, I love this. What else do you guys want to say about it? Please, I mean, whatever you guys want to talk about, like, let's talk about it.
I would love to talk about, so like bring up even with me creating Latino inspired products.
Yeah.
One thing that I really need to think about is making sure that I'm not harming my community.
Okay, how so?
In providing, because even though cannabis becomes legal here in Minnesota, at a state level, federally, cannabis is still illegal for people who are who are on like immigration status or like DACA people, or even, for instance, like my dad. He's a permanent resident, so he legally, like, if he were to consume and get, or like go to get his U.S. citizenship, he wouldn't necessarily, if he tests positive, like that could really affect him.
Wow.
Even with, honestly, I brought this up earlier today, was even like, as these are hemp-derived products, which are federally legal, but the effects of it, you test positive still.
Oh, yeah.
Testing is the same.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You're testing positive still. And now that if you get pulled over and you test positive for THC, someone who's on facing some immigration stuff, that is not necessarily a little slap on the wrist. That's like facing deportation.
Yeah.
So it's just like kind of making sure that even though, and I didn't even think about all these things. It's just as I'm going through this, I'm learning, and I'm learning the both sides of things, right?
Yeah, there's real implications for people.
There really is.
You know, if you know, like with licensing especially, like I always still kind of worry about it, you know, like of course I don't consume cannabis before I go to work, but like, I mean, it's going to show up in my bloodstream.
Right.
So,
yeah, it's scary.
Yeah.
It's scary. So it's just one of those things that I like to bring up and make aware of, just because it's not something we always talk about. And people say we should know these things, but we don't know these things.
We don't know until we know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just educating people about those things and educating people about that in the community, because it is also something that we want to help people feel empowered, right? And it is medicine. So, and knowing that, it's just hard. It's just hard.
And I think that's a kind of an obscure little area that gets overlooked,
Mm-hmm.
probably in other states too.
Yeah. So it's like figuring out ways on a federal level on how to bring that, and it's about descheduling.
Yeah, that's what they're one of the congresswomen was asking for down at, because the feds have like already reconvened, or I don't know when did they ever stop, even I don't know,
Right.
only when they shut down, I don't know. But our session opens up on the 12th, I believe, right? Yeah. So I'm excited to see what's going to come forward as far as like what kinds of things that they want to get through, or what they're focusing on. I think, what did they talk about at the blunt strategies? They had like a whole agenda of things that they thought were like touch points where they could really maybe like make some good effects. So I don't know. It'll be interesting.
I think we'll start to see things speed up a little bit.
Okay, how so?
Just the OCM is booting up. I mean, it's, they're building and they're not stopping. And I mean, 12 months, a full year cycle it goes really fast. It's February 1st.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
They said that they weren't even waiting for like the director. They said that it was kind of like a position that was just like, well, we got to get our people in there anyway. Right. So
I mean, on the meeting, were you a part of the meeting? Yes. I don't even know
Wednesday night?
What day it was. Just this
one night
last
this
week. This past week.
Right.
I think they were saying about even just like the rollout and how quickly it's gonna maybe even the summer type, looking at
some early licensing. So I mean, it's gonna start happening at warp speed.
Well, I mean, that
especially
seems...
for social equity.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. They said that they needed to kind of like fix up some big problems that they had, got it passed with originally. So, and I feel like people were bringing that forward, people like Michael Ford and were saying, like, there's still some problems with this bill, but, they were like, oh, just get it passed, get it passed. So, anyway.
Well, I think, this bill's always going to be morphing. I mean, it's going to be like alcohol, but it's going to be like tobacco. So it's just never going to sit still anyway.
Yeah. And it's always going to need tweaks.
We did what we could to what the best of our ability.
Yeah,
right?
for sure. And we got it. It was done. It was done. Yeah.
We got it done.
I was just looking at some videos of you doing your testimony. So that was really cool. Did you testify too?
I testified several times. I sat on the board of the MNW, or MN is Ready, on the advisory board with that.
Okay, nice.
Several hours of calls, helping figure everything out.
That's beautiful.
It's a learning process.
It is.
It's a lot to absorb.
It is.
That's beautiful. Thank you for that work.
It was a really cool experience knowing, because I am first generation. We don't talk about that growing up. Politics was not something we talk about. It's not something. It wasn't. My dad couldn't vote, so it just wasn't something that they talked about.
Sure.
And just learning the process of how change can happen, and knowing that you can make change.
Yeah, for sure. You can.
You really can.
Yeah.
And seeing that was probably one of the coolest, and being a part of that was really cool.
Yeah.
And destigmatizing this plant, like putting this plant first, is really important.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of things that still need to, be changed. But I think the OCM that we have currently right now is doing really good at taking feedback.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think any
really
other
good.
state has done that ever.
Like, they're really thinking about this.
Yeah.
I hope so. I hope those surveys matter. I really do, because, I of course had some recommendations. I hope they do take that into consideration and make sure that really the patients are being served, because that's who I care about. Like, I want to be able to make sure people are getting access to their medicine, and that they're not priced out of it. And, all the things are considered, because I feel like cannabis is, if that's their medicine, they should be able to get it.
Yeah.
People should be able to choose cannabis as either an adjunct therapy or an alternative therapy.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I can't wait for the day when insurance pays for
Yeah.
cannabis.
I keep
Yes.
telling people,
Like,
we need to get it
that's-
into our charts so that they start tracking the information, and that's when insurance companies will care.
Yeah.
Like,
So as soon as they can figure out how to monetize, we're good.
Do you see
But
that
I don't even
happening?
think it's going to take that long, because I think they might deschedule it. They might.
and then
All things considered, we can always hope for the best
But-
possible scenario.
we can also grow it
Yes.
ourselves. That's the beauty of it. And it is
Yes.
like,
Yeah.
it's really, because I don't want to see her also like commercialized.
No,
Yeah.
I would like to
Right.
see more access to growing.
Yeah.
Just places
Yeah.
where people can grow.
Yeah.
Like community gardens, right? Or just community spaces, because all of
Yes.
these people that can't grow or smoke because they live
Multi-family homes.
in a multifamily home.
Yep.
And those are the people that probably need it the most.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
so really,
They should designate a spot outside in their space.
yeah, or give them a shed.
They can grow cannabis on the boulevard
I mean,
and keep it regenerative,
Yeah.
even in the city streets.
I just think everyone should be growing their medicine. When you know where
Yeah.
your medicine comes from, and you put that love and that intention and that care and that just all of that,
Yeah.
it emulates.
It shines through.
Yeah.
I will say that. Like, there's times where I've smoked some weed and it's just blah,
Yeah.
right? I'm just mute. My body is not. There's other times where I can feel the fucking love
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
how they
And your
took
body
it.
tingles and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
no
you
doubt.
can feel it.
Yeah.
You really can see how they spoke to her.
It's all of our food and medicine.
It is.
Yes.
And positivity really matters.
water.
And water.
All of it.
I need lots of water.
Yes.
But you need that good water, that water that has love and light and empowerment, in it, you know?
Yes.
You got to speak it into it.
I
know. Yeah. Yeah, this is a cool vibe. I'm so glad you guys are here.
Yeah. Thank you for having us.
This is really what I envision for this. So yeah, I hope
Loving
I'm cool enough to connect with other people too, because
So how long have you been using, Molly? Tell us your story.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I just started doing those edibles, and
Okay.
then I finally just, fell into a groove with it. So,
growing up, there was no
just like a
cannabis
couple
use?
of times, and then, I would, like I said, just do it as my kids were coming up and stuff,
Yeah.
and just like occasionally, like a couple of times a year, But I wasn't a regular cannabis user, so. I feel like I had to find the one that worked for me the best before I was just like really sold on it. And then, once I found that, then I was like, okay, yeah, I can, this feels good to me. And like, I don't know, it opens up everything. You guys know, like it's resonance. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Resonance.
I love that.
What else? What else should we talk about? What topics in cannabis do you guys want to know more about?
I really think that I'm going to stick to the growing portion of it, right?
Okay.
I have my first baby. Her name is Thelma.
Oh, okay.
So original,
There
so
is a
cliche.
Louise too. You
There
showed
is
it
a
to me.
Louise,
Yeah,
there is a
that's right.
Louise, and,
I saw your photos.
Yeah, yeah. And so Thelma's mine, and yeah, Thelma doesn't look like Louise.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is unfortunate. and Thelma's mine, and of course Louise is Jude's, right? So
Jude.
the queens. But I would really like to see more focus on this growing,
Okay.
I think I've had this huge shift, but as a retail, like I really don't. Of course, I want people coming in to get flower, and I want that flower to come from people that I know. So, that's a change I'd like to see, is the smaller grows being able to dispense out retail, wise, but just ensuring that people do have access to their medicine. There's always going to be people who are going to buy it. They'll need concentrates. They'll want drinks, right? They'll want edibles. They'll want chocolates and things like that. But really, I mean, when it comes down to that brass tacks, I love seeing all of the focus on grow.
I feel like with growing though, I mean, we have to realize that that is kind of an equity piece, right? Like it costs money to get all that equipment and like to really have healthy plants. And like, yeah, you
Yes.
can grow outside, and Molly is going to hate me for even saying what I said, but like, you know, we live in not everyone can do that too. Like it's just,
Right.
you know, they just don't have the space or whatever.
And
So
that's where I'd really like to see more communal spaces.
Yeah.
And yes, growing there is a cost occurrence to it,
Yeah.
right? So I'd like to see programs set up to give people, maybe vouchers or something or discounted. There's so many
That'd be
people.
dope through like the medical program
I mean,
Yeah.
there would. So
to teach people how to
it's-
grow their stuff.
yeah, just more access to it.
okay. To
That'd be
teach people
pretty
how to
dope.
grow. Yeah.
Like we need to be feeling empowered.
Yeah.
We need to feel empowered. Like this plant has been really chained down for so long, and people are scared. People are scared to come out.
Yeah.
We need to empower people through this.
And we started this grow. Well, Jude started the grow meetup, right?
Yeah.
And I mean,
You guys have a good turnout.
I know.
Is it
It's
all
always
like
packed
a good
in there.
turnout.
The
It does.
windows are foggy.
It's fun.
Jude's hosting it, of course. And he's charming.
Yeah.
But I've really seen some women bloom.
That's
and,
awesome. Yeah, I agree.
mean,
I agree.
and having a safe space to come into that bros,
Yeah.
den, and creating a safe space for that, like, it's just been really great to see some of the women. And let me tell you, some of the women, dang, their plants are like, but ow, right?
Nice.
So
Nice. I hope they take pride in that. Yeah.
embrace it. But some
Yeah.
of them are coming out of that stigma,
Yeah.
of whatever it is. It's legal now, but it's been
It's that
illegal.
canna closet.
It's the canna closet.
Canna closet.
Yep.
Yep. We
Um,
provide a safe space for that canna closet.
I love that.
Yeah.
I remember I wanted to make sure I said that you said that you took pride in hearing about how the medicine that you provided and the guidance that you provided really helped people. So yeah, I love that about you.
It's been a long ride. I mean, it's been a long ride. And it's been a roller coaster, and it doesn't matter who you are. When you're grinding every day, you get tired, but all it takes is that one person to come in and say, wow, my life has changed. I mean,
Yeah.
just 5 simple words like that. It just makes it all worth it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Say before we wrap up, we should get. I don't think we heard where their places are, like where their businesses are. If people want to come
Oh
see
yeah,
them.
please let's talk about that.
Sure.
Um,
How about House of Wax? I got that one, or Oil Wax.
Oil
Sorry,
Worx.
Oil Worx.
yeah.
I've got it up on screen. So
So House of Oil Worx is our one retail location, and it is in downtown Anoka. We've been there for about 3 years. We're kind of right off of Main Street, 2nd and Main. So we have made a little home there. We have a couple of standing classes. So we have the growers meet up, which is free. Anyone can come to it between 6 and 8. You don't have to be a grower. You can be grow curious.
Okay.
Grow
know,
curious.
it's-
I like that.
Yeah, come ask questions, and really just there's no agenda. I mean, I think there's going to be some topics, right? But you're not missing, if you come in at 7, you're not missing anything. So we do that the first Wednesday of every month from 6 to 8. And then we do a mycelium meetup, and that's the 3rd Thursday of every month.
Is that the one I went to about Amanita?
It is.
Okay, that was a
Yes.
mycelium meetup I was at.
mycelium meetup.
You never told me that. I might not have came if I knew that was the name, but yeah, no.
Yes, it's a
It was-
mycelium meetup.
It was a great class. Thank you for that information too. I still am
course.
like kind of nervous to try that, and I don't know why. I just like being weird about it. I think.
Just on the day that you don't have anything to do,
yeah,
take
for
a
sure.
little bit, take a couple of drops.
Yeah,
Make that connection, right?
I'm gonna set an intention. Is what I'm gonna do.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it. it, you know,
Okay.
but
That's
it doesn't
an
need
important
to
part.
be big. So we have that. And then we have the Wake and Bake yogas every third Sunday. So
Yes.
it's the mycelium meetup and then we do some yoga.
Nice.
Yeah. But you know, we're just a cannabis and a low dose cannabis and mushroom dispensary.
Could you do that head shake one more time?
I do a lot of shaking of my head. I noticed that.
And then Misota?
So you on our website, you can see all the stores that we're located in. I think we are in 20 stores now, or 22
Dang.
stores.
Love
Yeah.
that.
Oh man,
Yeah.
this is what I want to see. Okay.
Yeah. So on our website, that's kind
I'm
of
sorry,
like
guys.
where you can see all that.
Mm.
Yeah.
And that website is Misotaessence.com for the
Yep.
audio listeners.
Thank you.
So
Yep.
MISOTAESSENCE.com.
Thank you for that nudge,
Yeah.
Gabe. I
Yes.
appreciate
Thank
that.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I can be found at houseofoilworx.com.
Oh no, do you have that up then,
Oh
Gabe,
yeah,
too?
yeah.
Yeah, I did. I just
I
didn't
just
say
did-
it out loud.
I
Sorry.
didn't do my social.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're on Facebook and Instagram. No,
Yeah.
no TikTok. Not yet.
Yeah.
I need to teach my kid how to do like.
They're gonna shut it down anyway.
Are they?
I think so. I don't know.
Really?
I'm not gonna do it. Shit. They be tracking your information. I'm not doing that. Hell no. China's not getting my info.
And then we should promote, before we get out of here, we should promote your website.
Mine?
Yeah, for the podcast.
Oh, shit. Conversations with Kush podcast. It's on YouTube.
That's the one.
I love it.
Yep.
I love it.
Yep.
So we're going to be having conversations like this, like
Every week,
Every
every
week.
Thursday at 7 p.m. So next week, we're going to have Kit and Tara on.
I love it.
Yes.
Yeah, they'll be our next guests.
I
And
love it.
I just want to thank you guys again for being here because I couldn't have done this
Yes.
without
Yes.
you. I
Yes.
seriously could not have done this without you. Like,
Thank
I mean
you.
that. I mean that.
And
like,
you'll be beautiful. You will soar and fly.
okay, you guys, though, you made such a safe place for me, and I just really appreciate that from you.
We
both.
love you.
Yeah, I love you too.
We
man.
really love you.
I really love you.
And you, look at girl, you doing Like,
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for
Yeah.
being here.
Thank you for having us.
So check these guys out. You need to look them up. Make sure you get connected with them. These are some of my really good friends right here, and yeah,
We're around.
I'm here to hook up my friends. So
yeah.
all right, goodbye.
Bye.
I hope Gabe takes that part out.
Yeah.
MBC. No relation to NBC.